দীর্ঘ প্রতীক্ষার পর অবশেষে রেড স্পোর্টসের ক্যামেরায় ধরা দিয়েছেন যেই ব্যক্তি কিছু ঘন্টা আগে এই মরশুমের আইএসএল চ্যাম্পিয়ন হয়েছেন, চ্যাম্পিয়ন কোচ বলা যেতে পারে। 22 বছরের খরা কাটিয়ে ইস্টবেঙ্গলকে চ্যাম্পিয়ন করার নেপথ্যে যেই ব্যক্তিটি রয়েছেন সেই ব্যক্তিটির সাথে কথা বলবো, কারণ বেশিক্ষণ আমাদের কাছে সময় নেই, কারণ এরপরেই একটা নৈশ ভোজের আয়োজন করা হয়েছে, সেখানে কিন্তু তিনি বেরিয়ে যাবেন। তাই যতটুকু সময় আছে আমরা সেখানে কথা বলবো ইস্টবেঙ্গলের বলা যেতে পারে আইএসএল উইনিং কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজোর সাথে। কোচ, welcome to Race Sports first of all, and what's your feeling in now?
Well, overwhelmed, excited, I still could not rest my mind. Still, I cannot believe it. So, yeah, it's a feeling of satisfaction, of bringing joy to all those millions of people that were waiting for this moment. So, we are really, really proud to have made it possible.
Coach, can you tell us, you in every press conference tell we are finishing in our target is finishing in top 6, then in last press conference you tell our target is in finishing in top 4. Now can we tell us we talk about finishing in top 1 position?
Yeah, I still feel that there are squads very, very competitive, that there are teams that have been on the top positions of the ISL for years. For us, getting the invitation card to win the top positions would require time, process, mentalization, and it's not an easy thing. I'm not a person that like to sell smoke to say that we are going to be on top. I prefer to focus on game-by-game battles, prepare them, do the needed adjustments, make the belief all around, and I prefer others to say that we are a contender rather than us. What we want to do is winning every possible game, and this is why we started with the message of improving the 9th position of the last few years. Later we came to the top 6, which was the realistic one for the club, following our contracts and our bonuses. Then slowly in the season, in the last game, we started to size the opportunity to finish in top 3, and in the last 2 games, it's unbelievable that we had the chance and we capitalized on that.
Coach, everyone thought Inter-Kashi match is easy for East Bengal, but we see the match, East Bengal is losing first half in 1-0, then a comeback. So everyone wants to know what is the tactical decision behind the result. What is the approach?
It's a mix of everything, of what happened all throughout the season. We did a lot of comebacks. We had one comeback in negative in the game of Jamshedpur. That was a big lesson for us. So we always are in the pitch trying to find the proper adjustments to overcome the difficulties that we find. All of us, we knew that Inter-Kashi was going to come here to spoil the party. We suffered a lot in the first half. I think that probably, besides all the psychological work that we did during the week, I think that we came overexcited, that we were not controlling the central areas. Inter-Kashi was not having pressure of nothing. They were enjoying the game, they were controlling, they were creating the most number of chances. But suddenly we found a way to change the system, to open a little bit more our wingers, accumulate more players inside, and of course put numbers in the opposite box. So I think that the guys always believe the adjustments that we do, because one thing is having an adjustment in the mind, another made the players believe that doing that was going to be the way to win the game. So I'm very satisfied because the plan worked, especially in the second half, and that allowed us to take slowly, gradually the control of the game, create the chances and scoring the goals.
Coach, in this season, in this particular season, we see every club are facing problem just because they have not enough pre-season. But East Bengal managed that, and the fitness is very high for the East Bengal players. And two key players, they are ruled out for the season, and then the team is playing very well and they are champion. So the communication with your fitness coach, what is the relation about that?
Well, regarding the problems that all the teams face, is all the teams, even us, from the beginning of the season, we were having a lot of injuries, especially in the defensive line. Then we came with our most creative players, Maesh and Saul, could not be in central areas, and that, believe me, was a big problem to implement always the ideas of dominance that we have. But I say in all the press conference, we prefer not to focus on the problems. Every time there is a problem, there is a solution. I'm sure that if you ask the coaches of all the other ISL clubs, they have their own story. Our story is a story of a very long season, of losing 2 finals in the penalty shootouts, which was very painful. It's a story of regularity. Thanks God that our investor never stopped believing in the project of this year. We were consistently training, so that of course is an advantage because the team was ready to face this tough ISL. I don't believe that winning a league of 13 games is easier than winning a league of 26 games. We can talk about regularity. If you talk about regularity, probably the most regular teams will have more chances on a league of 26 games, but probably those teams that are showing game by game resilience, endurance, preparation, physicality and overcoming the immediate problems and not allowing mistakes, and that is the case of East Bengal. That is the way we faced the season. I know that there is a talk that 13 games it could happen everything, but I'm sure that if the league is to home and away, we could also have our chances to be on the top positions.
Coach, Xavier Sanchez, we see you and Xavier, they are together from Basundhara and now in East Bengal. So how the friendship is started, how the relationship is strong the day after day?
Javier has a lot of credit on what we have done because keeping a team fully fit during the 11 months of competition is a big achievement, and we are very demanding on that, and we know that we depend totally on the physicality of the players. That's point number one. I met him, I'm working with him already for 7 years. We understand everything with a small gesture. We understand what we mean. We know during the weekly work what he needs to do, if there is more load, less load, if there is more number of games, if there is a time to charge the players more in the physical and in the strengthening. So Javier is a professional, is a doctor in physical education, and it's a privilege for me having him in the coaching staff. But also Adrian was working as assistant coach in second division in Spain. Vino is champion of the Santos Trophy. The doctor is a top doctor in India, surgeon, and we have a top physiotherapist group. Everybody is willing to work. As I said yesterday, I love when everybody acknowledge and take responsibility of their own duties and departments. So this is exactly what we do. I'm just a vehicle for all of them to function all together, a coordinator of what a coaching staff should be, and I'm very proud because everybody in the staff understood it this way, and they also believe that they have part on this success.
Everyone they are told that a foreign coach and Indian coach they have not good communication skills. So you work with Bino George. So there is any problem you face, or Bino George he also any problem he face? That's like.
I agree with your statement. Actually, when you come with a close coaching staff, you try to protect yourself with your people. Since I came to Asia, I think completely in the opposite way. If you want to succeed in countries like India, you need to involve all the Indian players, the communication. They are the soul of the team. They are the one communicating better for the players. They understand the culture and emotions much better than us. So you need to implement, use them, make them feel important. And actually, technically, Bino is a coach that understands very well about the characteristics of the players. For me, has been a huge help. Same I can say with Felix de Sousa, goalkeeper coach. You can ask the goalkeeping department how happy they are after the change we did in the middle of the season. And the same I apply for the physiotherapists, for the medical team, and for the backroom staff, that they were really lovely, always taking care of us in every single detail. So I love when you involve the Indian people, and when you come as a foreigner and you are ready to listen and to give. I think in the balance there is the exact solution.
Before in East Bengal, you are in Mumbai City and Sporting Club the Goa, and we see you spend lots of time in Goa. So why Goa is special for you?
Well, first of all, because I met my wife in Goa. So that's the first. Second, because it was my project, my first project in South Asia, in Sporting Goa. Third, because in Sporting Goa is a similar story. I took a team struggling in the bottom part of the table, and we could finish 5 in that season of the I-League. And in the next season, we play the final of the Federation Cup. So Goa is a place that I feel emotionally attached. I have a lot of friends. I met my wife there. Every time I have a weekend, 2 or 3 days, I try tried to make an escape there. So it's a fantastic plate, and then of course it helps also that it's a multicultural environment, Christian, so somehow we feel close to home.
Xavier is supporter of Real Madrid, he told us, and Saul is support Barcelona. Which team you support?
No doubt, Celta de Vigo.
That's why you play, that's why you tell.
Because it's my city. Vigo is my city. Vigo is in my early ages. We were having a team playing very well in the Champions League. We are in a small city, but we have one of the best academies of Spain. Every year, every team produces players for the national teams of Spain. We are a renowned academy. So I'm very happy and proud to be from a small city that is completely football oriented. That it has the result. We are 2 years Celta de Vigo qualifying continuously for the Europa League. So I really feel I worked there as a player, I worked there as a coach, and I have been always a big fan of Celta de Vigo. But as second team to win titles, as it's more difficult to win titles with Celta de Vigo, I'm also on the side of Real Madrid.
The World Cup is coming and you support Spain, I guess. But in your vision, which team is more chance to win this World Cup?
No, it's impossible to bet on this. In a competition that is a do or die, that you need to pass 5 final stages with games do or die, is going to be the team that comes more entire, more determined, in a better physical condition. So when we start watching, they need to adjust also to the climate of USA and Mexico, hot weather, not like the weather in Europe. So I prefer to watch all the games of the group stage and slowly making an idea of who are going to be the favorites. Of course, we can always talk about teams like Brazil, Argentina, Spain, France, Germany, Holland. There are teams that always have the chances, but there is always surprises. So right now it's impossible to know.
I want to tell you that you play against every team in ISL. So can you tell best player for the position? Like who is the best goalkeeper for your vision? Who is the best striker for this? Can you told the 11?
The 11 players of my team and the 11 substitutes, always. They are the best. If I cannot transfer this confidence to my players, I'm lost. I never think about the rivals. I think how to beat the rivals, and I have the best resources. So for me, my players always are going to be in my best 11. Thank you.
আমরা কথা বললাম এই মৌসুমের আইএসএল বিজেতা কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজোর সাথে, তিনি কি ভাবেন এবং আমরা দেখানোর চেষ্টা করলাম তার কনফিডেন্সটা কত তার দলকে নিয়ে। তাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করা হয়েছিল প্রত্যেকটা পজিশনে এই মৌসুমের আইএসএলের বেস্ট প্লেয়ার কি, তিনি উত্তরটা কি দিয়েছেন আপনারা শুনলেন, যে তার একাদশের প্রথম 11 জন খেলোয়াড় এবং তার সাথে সাথে তার যে রিজার্ভ বেঞ্চের ফুটবলাররা আছে তারাই হচ্ছে এই সিজনের বেস্ট প্লেয়ার। এবং বলবেন নাই বা কেন, যেই টিমটা চ্যাম্পিয়ন হয়েছে সেই টিমের ফুটবলাররাই তো বেস্ট, সেটা হওয়াটাই স্বাভাবিক। অস্কার ব্রুজনকে ধন্যবাদ জানাবো আমাদেরকে সময় দেওয়ার জন্য, এতটা সময় তার সাথে কথাবার্তা বলার জন্য। ক্যামেরায় শুভম মণ্ডলের সাথে আমি সায়ন, রে স্পোর্টস।